Hello everyone, this is ex-Bethelite here. I want to discuss this concept that Jehovah's Witnesses are unified. Jehovah's Witnesses can be described as actors. People that you see on your favorite television show that look like they're all in unison, but then after the show is over, they go to their private lives. They don't even know each other. Jehovah's Witnesses, oftentimes, they don't even visit one another. They don't even know their quote unquote brother or sister very well, let alone be unified with that person. It's very easy on a Sunday or whatever your meeting day is during the week, but it's very easy for a person to go to a building on a Sunday and one other day during the week, sit down, listen to a discussion, and go home. And I guess people feel that is unified, that's some sort of unification, that Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world are unified, and that is false. Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world are good at putting on a show. People that have been in elders and servant meetings know that the people inside that congregation don't get along. I've been in elder servant meetings and seen people disagree throughout the course of that meeting, and after the meeting is concluded, the people still disagree on things. Field service. People, for the majority of the time that I was pioneering, disagreed to a large extent on field service. Some people would have a set group that they would sit with or get with because they didn't really like working with other people. It wasn't a situation where you go to the Kingdom Hall and when you're preparing to go knock on doors, anybody would be happy to work with anybody. No. You had certain people that like to have a set group. They didn't want such and such a person put in their car group. They didn't even like that person. There's people that when you go into that hall and you're getting ready for field service, you're sitting there and they're putting the groups together and you're thinking, oh man, I hope I don't have to work with such and such because I don't like them. Jehovah's Witnesses are not unified. This concept that we were a part of an organization that was all unified is false. When I was at Bethel, there's a saying that the only thing constant about Bethel is change. Because one overseer would do things a certain way, they would then leave or get moved, and another overseer would come in and do things a completely different way. There were fights at Bethel. Roommates that didn't get along to the point where things got heated, and people would eventually begin to fight one another. I'm telling you that this concept that Watchtower has created something global and united is false. It is very false. Think about places that you've worked as far as just your job is concerned. There's procedures. People go to work. There's a dress code. People all clock in at the same time. If your shift starts at 9 o'clock, everybody goes in, punches in on the time clock or however they do it at 9 o'clock. If where you work there are uniforms, not only is everyone punching in on the clock at the exact same time around about, but they're all wearing the same uniform. They all look the same. Does that mean everybody is unified? No. People don't get along at work. I've worked places where, people get into a full-on argument at a meeting. And you have to understand that the only difference here is that, again, Jehovah's Witnesses are, to a large degree, actors. They're putting on a show at the meeting. So for that hour or 2 hours or whatever it is that they're sitting together, they're putting on a show. Then once they leave, these people don't visit one another. I'm telling you, I have relatives. I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness. I have relatives that are still in. And I don't know if they get visits from half the people that are supposedly their brother and sister. This concept is false. This brother and sister concept is completely false that Watchtower is feeding people. People believe what Watchtower tells them. Oh, this is my brother or it is my sister because Watchtower says it is. But this person doesn't like you. This person doesn't call you on the phone during the course of a week. This person does not visit you. When it's time for field service, this person doesn't want you in their car. They don't like you. That's the truth. People don't even like each other. As far as neutrality is concerned, I grew up around people that had been to war, and during the book study, even in their comments, would talk about and reference that they had been to war and how they felt about it. Some of those comments revealed that this concept of neutrality, everybody doesn't really follow that. Everybody doesn't really believe that. When the country goes to war, all Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe that there should not have been a war. That's false. That is very false. The country has gone to war. Some people agree, some people don't. It's the same with Jehovah's Witnesses. For the most part, a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, do they join the army and things of that sort? No. But really, a lot of them are just afraid, and Watchtower gives them an excuse not to join the military. They don't join the military because they're afraid to join the military. It's not that they really think that there shouldn't be one, or they really think that this nation and the other nation should just agree on everything, or whatever the case may be. A lot of them are just afraid to join the military. And then you mix indoctrination with that, where a person thinks that God will destroy them if they join the military. But a lot of what you see with respects Watchtower are falsehoods, and they are lies, and they are lies all the way down to the point where Watchtower is telling you that Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world are united. Now, why do they tell them that? What's the proof that they have of that? Well, all Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world study the same magazine at the same time. Come on now, that's it. That's their whole proof that Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world are unified. Why? Because they're looking at the same magazine at the same time. We just discussed, if you used to work for General Motors and you had a uniform on that everybody else had on, the same uniform all around throughout this company, everybody got the same uniform, and if you work a specific shift, everybody on that shift has got to be there at a certain time. They're all clocking in at the exact same time. That don't mean they're all together and unified and things of that nature or things of that sort. So as far as being unified, Watchtower is no more unified than anybody else. Jehovah's Witnesses are no more unified than anybody else. If you want to say that Jehovah's Witnesses all around the world are unified, you might as well say that everybody that works for Toyota all around the world is unified. As far as the standard of unification, you might as well say that everybody that works for Taco Bell all around the world, or McDonald's is a better one. Everyone that works for McDonald's all around the world are all unified because they all make the Big Mac sandwich. I mean, that's how stupid it is. That would sound stupid if someone told you. McDonald's has achieved unification because people at the McDonald's in one location aren't all out fist fighting with people at a McDonald's in the other location, and they all have the same uniform on, and they all make the same sandwiches the same way. McDonald's is just as unified as Jehovah's Witnesses are unified. This is important. This is very important to understand that we were never part of an organization that was together and unified. Bethel, people at Bethel don't get along. We were never a part of an organization that was any more unified than McDonald's all around the world is unified, because McDonald's has procedures and sandwiches and things of that sort. It's important because then people leave Watchtower and they start looking for things to be similar to what they thought Watchtower was. People want to be in something that is completely unified so that they feel comfortable. For example, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, there's the concept that what if all ex-Jehovah's Witnesses are or were unified? Maybe they thought of a name of a group and they all joined that group or something to that effect. Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses already are all about as unified as Watchtower is. Does everybody agree on everything? No. But does Watchtower all agree on everything? Or Jehovah's Witnesses all agree on everything? No. People were arguing about things as dumb as the microphone. When a person would get on the stage, people that work the sound would adjust the mic. There's a remote thing that makes it go up, and people were arguing about that. A person would make an adjustment to the mic, and then after the meeting you see them arguing because some people don't want to make an adjustments after the person has already started speaking. Some people say you only can make adjustments but prior to the speaker beginning their presentation. Some people say throughout you can make little things these people are arguing about. And then after the meeting is over and the lights to the Kingdom Hall are turned off, they go home and they don't even hear from, a lot of them don't even hear from each other until it's time to go back to the meeting. That's the same with McDonald's. People leave McDonald's after a day of work and they may not hear or talk to any of their co-workers until it's time to go back to work at McDonald's again. So comment down below and let me know what you think about this. I definitely think that Watchtower is lying when they tell you they're united just because everybody has the same Watchtower. That's false. And that they're lying when they say everybody's united because they don't go to war. A lot of them are just scared. That's the only reason why. If America was to go to war based off whatever the case may be, people within that organization would feel differently about it. Some people would think it was justified. Some people would not. Just like anybody else. A lot of them, of course, across the globe, there's indoctrination. That's different. Indoctrination and unification is a little bit different. Someone believing something because someone told them so and being unified is not the same thing, because you have all these Jehovah's Witnesses and they're all indoctrinated. But again, Sister Susie doesn't want Sister Samantha in her car group because she don't like her. The indoctrination does not make you unify as a people. Brother so-and-so is arguing with brother so-and-so because they don't want to make this person a ministerial servant, or they don't agree that this person should be a ministerial servant. One strongly agrees, one strongly disagrees. Every time the CO comes, there's disagreement as to who should be a servant, who shouldn't, who should step down as an elder, who shouldn't. They're indoctrinated and they're still not unified, really. There was literally disagreements as to work and add-ons and things like that to the Kingdom Hall. I remember there was a brother that wanted to have an add-on to the Kingdom Hall, and he had his own little following. And then there was another brother that did not want to have that done and didn't want to have to put in the money that it would take to have work done on the Kingdom Hall. He had his little following, and the two clashed, and their little groups or cliques clashed. There's not just cliques over that. There's cliques throughout Watchtower, and these cliques clash and collide. They don't get along. If everybody was unified, there wouldn't be a such thing as cliques in Watchtower. Really, they would all be one big happy group. But what you see on these videos that Watchtower presents is just as false as what you see on television. When you're watching Ozark, they're not really shooting at each other. That stuff is false. They're putting on a show. When you're watching Orange is the New Black, these people aren't really in prison. They're actors. They put that on just for the show. It's the same with all these videos that come out that Watchtower produces. It's the same with the broadcast, and they sit there and they talk about things that aren't true. It's a show. Watchtower is no more unified because they study the same magazine and have some of the same procedures. They're no more unified than McDonald's is, that all have the same recipes that they use to make these sandwiches around the world. Is Jehovah behind McDonald's? If Watchtower has done something that it would take God's backing to accomplish, then I guess Jehovah has now backed McDonald's, because all around the world I can get me a Big Mac and it will taste the same as a Big Mac from where I am originally from. Don't be fooled by Watchtower. Don't be deceived. Watchtower is not unified. Jehovah's Witnesses around the world are not unified. And you can tell just by looking at a lot of the videos of former members and some of the horror stories, because these people did not get along and did not like each other. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. X Walk Hill Bethel Light signing out.